Welcome everyone to the platform. You already know what it is. We are about to make it do what it do. Let me hear you out there. Baby, baby. Okay. I am excited about our guest tonight. Listen, you all are in for an absolute treat, okay? So stick and stay because listen, you ain't ready. You ain't ready, but listen, I need you to get ready, okay? Because you don't want to miss this. So, with that being said, we are going to jump right on in to introducing our special guest. Now, I have to set this up right, okay? Because this is my sister girl. All right. Look, we can't just introduce her any old kind of way. So, y'all get in your seat and relax and enjoy this time. Okay. All right. So, tonight, I am introducing to you all this beautiful, wonderful, and anointed sister. Okay, let me go ahead and just share with you just a short blurb from her bio. As the maestro of hair care and wellness, Queen King's journey is one sculpted by lineage and faith. With an unwavering belief, she transforms dreams into reality, a testament to the power of her name. Come on, with over 20 years of expertise as a master barber and cosmetologist, Queen weaves creativity into every look, surprising and delighting clients. Listen, okay, her secret, a holistic approach that nurtures healthy hair and celebrates individual style. Okay, and that's just a little snippet, but we're about to get into this tonight. So, with that being said, listen, help me give a warm welcome to our guest, none other than Mrs. Listen, Kiana King, aka Queen King, aka the Hair Queen. Welcome, a warm welcome to the Platform Podcast.
Oh, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here. I've been seeing what you've been doing. And when you had invited me, I'm like, yes, I would love to. This is dope. I love podcasts. I love what you're doing. So I have to first start off with that.
Yes,
So thank you for
ma'am.
having
Yes.
me.
Oh, absolutely. I am so super proud of you, everything that
Oh,
you are doing. And so before we jump into the actual interview, it
sure.
is 2024. What say you? How are things going thus far?
Listen, 2024 is amazing. After the 2023 that I had, and I'm sure we're going to get into that, but 2024 is amazing. And I'm just grateful. I'm just taking each day at a time. I'm a planner, but planning to me is different right now, especially, you see life through a different lens when you go through certain things. So I'm just taking my time, and you know how the saying goes, you got to slow down to speed up.
Oh,
So
listen,
I'm slowing down a little bit right now and
I
enjoying it.
I completely understand that. And you have to do that because people
Yeah.
that don't do that, they end up burning out. And ain't nobody
Hmm.
got no time to be burning out. Okay. We got things to do.
That's
Okay.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so let's jump right on in. All right. So
Yeah.
our first question for you, Queen. Um, First, we're gonna just ask this question. If you could just share with us where you're from and a little bit about your educational background.
Sure. So I am a Bostonian, born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, more so Dorchester, Mattapan. I'm a Dorchester, Mattapan girl. And my educational background, well, it's pretty not intense, but my father is and was an educator, especially even at the Boston public school system. So reading and English and writing was something that we had to like master and be good at because that's what he taught. And being an educator or being raised by an educator, you can't be slacking. So I don't like
Right.
to say I was the best student, but I was pretty good. So I went on to Boston Christian Academy. The church that we came out of had a school, which is Good Shepherd. Church of God in Christ. So
Mm-hmm.
I attended that school when I was very young, and then I went on to Boston Public School, left Boston Public School, went on to Brookline Public School, left Brookline, went back to Boston, and then graduated high school from North Cambridge Catholic, went on to college. And listen, let me tell you something about college. College is really not for everyone. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I came from an educator, right? So I always felt like that's what I had to do. So I was on a basketball scholarship for in college, and I got diagnosed with tendonitis in both of my knees. So I was kind of depressed. I came back home because I couldn't play. Imagine having to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning with the team, but then when it's game time, you have to sit the bench.
Oof.
So that really bothered me, and that happened for months.
Wow.
A little bit more than half of that season that year. So I came back home. And when I
Wow.
came back home, my father was like, I understand what you just went through, but you can't just sit around here. So I went to school. I went to what do you call that? UMass Boston. Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
focused. I flunked out. And so I had to get my credits up and went to Bunker Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't focused. How do you flunk out of Bunker Hill? So listen, it was self learning courses,
Mm-hmm.
and I still didn't do well. So I just wasn't focused. So my
Right.
dad, he sat me down and talked to me, was very patient, understanding. And I said, well, what if I went to like barber school or something? I love, cutting hair. I'd be doing your lineups and stuff. He was like, you serious? I was like, yeah, I've always been interested in the beauty industry, but never know. And so
Mm-hmm.
he was like, sure, sign me up, paid that tuition. Look, he was right there for me in my corner, right? And I fell in love. So
Oh,
that was my educational journey. Like all my life, I wanted to be a pediatrician. How I
wow.
became a hair doctor is just I wasn't a little girl on the steps braiding hair, anything like that. It just was a part of who I was supposed to be, my destiny. So
Oh
here we
yeah,
are.
absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that because you
Yeah,
you make it you making it do what it do, okay?
thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Okay, so describe what a good time is for you. Like, for example, what does Queen do to unwind, relax, and get some self-care in?
That is an amazing question, and thank you for asking that. So what I like to do, which is contrary to health and wellness, I like to eat. I love a great dining experience, just going out to a restaurant, even if I don't eat all the steaks and all that stuff, but just being in a great atmosphere with good energy and, just around good people. That's
Yeah,
a part of my self-care. Most people say, I like to go to the spa. No, me going out, having a great dining experience, whether it was friends or with my husband or even with my family. I
yeah.
love that. And the two part of that is saying no. No
Oh,
is self-care to me. I've
come on.
learned how to say no, and it feels so good. It's invigorating. I feel responsible for my decisions, and whether you like it or not, you got to eat that because I'm good with it. That kind of thing. Saying no has changed the trajectory of my mental health and
Yeah.
my self-care. It really
Mhm.
has.
Listen, I wholeheartedly understand that. All right, for those of you all listening, come close. Come close. No is a complete sentence,
Yes,
okay?
it is. Yes, it is.
Use it and don't feel bad about it. Those of you all who are struggling, okay, listen, she's witnessing to y'all right now. Okay, learn to use
Seriously.
no.
Yes. I feel like no is an answer just like yes is an answer. It's either
Come
yes or
on.
no.
I know that's right. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, let's go here.
Okay.
Share with us one thing people don't know about you that would surprise them. For example, maybe you have like a hidden talent, a secret life. I don't know, but the people want to know.
Okay. The people want to know is something really interesting, I guess, but it actually surprised me. I love watching this YouTuber called Mr. Beast. I don't know if you know of Mr. Beast, but he has millions of followers, and not because of the followers, it's the actions and it's the humanitarianism in him,
Mhm.
and the philanthropy in him that I am intrigued by. And plus, he does all these different obstacle courses and fun stuff with his friends. But I
Yeah.
sit there and watch this with my 12-year-old, and I'm intrigued, and I feel him sometimes looking at me like she's really into this. But I love watching this YouTube show with Mr. Beast. So if you all don't know who Mr. Beast is, you gotta look him up. And like he gives out money to people, and that intrigues me because I'm not the type of person like I want him to bless me. I'm the type of person that's trying to figure out how do I become that to be able to give away money like that. You know,
That
because I feel like
that's
there's
it.
two kinds of people in this world: the people who like to take and receive, and the people who like to give. You know, and I'm definitely a giver. That I feel like giving has become a extra stream of income for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
Listen, she's talking. Y'all get y'all pen and your pad and take some notes, okay?
Yeah, I'm
This is
serious.
some wisdom that Queen is dropping, okay? So don't.
Yes.
Okay, let's go here.
Okay.
What are some of the craziest things that clients do that may just ruffle your feathers?
Some of the crazy. Well, there's a lot. There's absolutely a lot, but I know this one may sound so minute, but when you're the first client, say for your appointment's at 9, don't come at 8:30. That's still
Oh,
my time. I'm in the salon reading, worshiping, probably trying to go live for a few minutes. That is my time. I appreciate when people come on time, but coming super early and knocking on that, let's wait till 8:55 or something. But there's some people they're sticklers for being on time, and I respect it. But that first client, don't be that one time. Mm-mm.
yeah, I get that. Okay,
You know?
so let me ask this question since we're like in that space. Like,
Okay,
do you have a pet peeve? And if so, share with us what that pet peeve is. And before you do, quite often I share a few of my pet peeves, right? Um,
sure.
when people say the word pattern and when they're trying to say pattern, but they say pattern.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if it's like a country thing, but I'll be like, oh. And when people who they're cooking and they're allowing their pets to walk around the stove and around the plate, you got the cat's tail in the meat sauce. Yeah, I don't do well with that. So, so what's your pet peeve?
Since you're on that right there, I don't even know if that's a pet peeve. That's just disgusting.
Yes,
I
it's
don't tolerate it. I don't do it. No, I have an animal and he is not allowed in my kitchen.
come on.
Period. Okay. Now, a pet peeve I would say is one for sure, and it stands out in my head is standing too close to me at the supermarket or in a line at a CVS or something. Back
Girl.
up. Like I love when they were doing the 6 feet distance thing. Oh, I loved it. Like get back up off me. That's one of
Queen,
my
listen,
things.
Queen said take space. Okay.
Please put those stickers back on the floor because these people don't know. They don't know boundaries. Like it's awful.
Oh my God, that is
Yes.
hilarious.
So
Okay,
that's
now
one of my pet peeves.
y'all heard it here. Don't be all close up on Queen in them grocery stores.
Back up off me.
Back up off her. Oh, that is so hilarious. Okay, so let's go here.
Okay.
What do you love the most about being a stylist? And share with us the thing that can be the most challenging as well.
Ooh, that's a great question. I love like thinking about these type of things. So what I can say the most challenging thing or the thing I love, I'll start off with that. The thing that I love the most about being a cosmetologist, a stylist is the transformation. I love
Mhm.
the transformation. I love even someone, their spirit feeling down or they're heavy or they just don't feel good about themselves. But when
Yeah,
I turn them around in that mirror and there's a transformation that has taken place. So
yeah,
it starts in the mind too, when they have to see what they look like now in the present versus how they came in. That,
yeah.
ooh, that's so invigorating for me. And
Oh,
so I know a lot of hairstylists, um, they do hair, especially people who doing hair as long as myself, 22 years.
yeah.
Um, they do it out of a talent, out of a gift, out of routine, but they don't do it out of a love of seeing women transformed. And I think that will make all the difference for those who are falling out of love with their craft. If you
Yeah.
just hone in and serve that need, because one thing about what we do, we're in the service industry, a whole
Yep.
lot of serving is not going on, right?
Yes.
So if we learn how to serve and serve on a higher level,
Mhm.
the game would change, because our industry has changed so much and not for the better, that once we hone in on that and not just money, see, that's what changed it for me. I learned how to serve and stop hustling, and my business has excelled. I've learned how to give and not just put a dollar on everything, and my business started to excel. However, I do believe in a price tag, because I'm not McDonald's. I'm like the
Right.
Mastros and the Ocean Prime of the industry. You understand?
Come
So,
on.
you know, so I feel like I'm not for everybody and everyone's not for me. But guess what? I'm from some for somebody. Just like my friend LaRonda Phelps says, I'm not for everybody, but I'm for somebody. And I really stand on that, because, everyone's not my customer. I didn't
Mhm.
know that for a long time. And
Yeah.
that's why I was paid, but I was overworked.
Mm.
Overworked. And I don't believe that's even the design of God, for us to be overworked. It
Right.
wasn't even necessarily our task to be working, especially the way we do. That was when sin came into play.
Don't you start up in here.
I will stop. Look, I will stop. But yes, so just seeing that transformation in women, that's what fuels me. And then the flip side of it, the negative part of it, is not being able to not being able to adjust to certain people's mood and attitudes and their dispositions.
Mm.
Because I'm human too. But one
Right.
thing I've learned how to do is look past people's faults and see their need. But
Yeah.
sometimes people don't allow you in to even, help them, or to embrace them, to nurture them. They
Right.
don't understand um, the value that you're giving them, because they're so damaged and hurt, and they think a hairdo is going to fix it when they have internal issues to deal with. Yeah.
That's
So
deep.
that's the hard part.
That's deep, but that's
Yeah.
real. That's
Yes,
real.
ma'am.
And
Yeah,
what you were just speaking about, you are really serving people, right? There
absolutely.
are those people who just, try to quickly put together a product and services just to be able to, get some sort of like financial income,
Hmm.
and their mind nor their heart is on actually serving the person. Like, what are they
That's
getting
right.
of this? How am I actually being of service to this
That's
person?
right.
Not just pushing off or trying to hustle off some sort of service or a product, but really making sure that this person is getting something of quality, something of value. So I just want to commend you for operating, embodying that, and navigating in that fashion, because I truly believe that that's where a lot of people are missing it.
Yep,
That's where
I
a lot of
agree.
absolutely. So I love that. Let's
Yeah,
go here for a moment.
sure.
Briefly,
Okay.
share with us what are two things you are most passionate about in life.
Two things I'm most passionate about in life is my family and my business. Before, this goes back to what I said about serving. Before, it was my business, then my family. Thought,
Mm,
if I can work hard, I have, the resources to take care of my family. Mm-mm. I had it so backwards. That's why I retired working the weekends about 4 years ago.
yeah,
And on the weekends, I spend time with my sons, with my husband, with my family, and doing, you know, activities that serve me. Meaning that I'm not missing out on birthday parties anymore, because mommy have to work, or I'm trying to, take fewer clients, but then I still end up being late. We get to birthday parties, and by the time we get there, my kids are just eating pizza. They missed all the bouncy house and the laser gun stuff, because
right.
I'm working, right? And then a lot of, like, I guess a lot of ministry things and a lot of events that have a lot of value to it are on Saturdays. And I was tired of missing out on these events. And now that I don't work weekends, um, my income hasn't skipped a beat. My clientele actually grew because I did something for me and
Yeah.
not just doing it for thinking that's going to sustain the business. So,
Yeah.
and when it comes to, family first and then business, like even like recently, we started a nonprofit um, foundation, an organization called K&K Family Foundation. And
Yes.
and I probably jump ahead a little bit by explaining why, but it started because we wanted to be able to be of assistance to other families who are dealing with a child undergoing cancer treatment. So
Mhm.
that's why it was curated for that reason, right?
Mhm.
And our motto for this organization is where family is first.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's not about just your business, it's about taking care of your family, and your business, comes second and can be sustained. So,
Absolutely, and it's
yeah,
biblical too, right?
it's
It's
biblical.
the order of God. I was
There
just
you
having
go.
this conversation with a group of people the other day, in regards to them just going out into the world, hustling, trying to make it happen. And I was making the point about how you're supposed to live from the inside out, not the
That's
outside
right.
in,
Yep.
right? It almost reminds me of when we say things like, how is it that you can go out and minister and preach
Hmm.
and teach at people, and you're not applying those things to your life, and not just applying them to your life, but applying them to your life first
Yes. Yep.
first
Hmm.
right? And so
Absolutely.
it's just, and you got to be honest with yourself in matters like that, because you can be pretty much labeled a hypocrite. It's kind of
Mm.
like, okay, well, how is it that you expect me to really embrace all of that? Do you even
Yep.
believe it for yourself?
Come
Are you
on.
applying
Exactly.
these are you applying these things to your own life, right? But
Hmm.
it's just, it just makes sense. It just makes sense,
Exactly.
you know.
It does.
What burdens Queen's heart? What burdens your heart?
That's a very good question.
Mhm. Like for me, I'm really passionate, as about young people, the youth
Yeah.
and young adults, and like them being indoctrinated by
Mhm.
certain things, and sometimes these things are subliminal. They may not be able to recognize right away what they're hearing, what they're seeing, but someone who may have maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit more wise, someone who can discern what's happening, because
Mhm.
we know that there are things that people will say to you with being filled with the Spirit of God.
Yep.
They can present one way, and we will hear and see beyond what they're presenting. And so young people, sometimes they're not able, they haven't lived long enough, right?
Mhm.
And it's
Okay.
not all of
Yeah.
them, but sometimes they're not actually sure what's trying to approach them, to pull them into certain places, to deceive them or bring
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
hurt,
Yeah.
harm, or danger. So those are like, that's just an example of something that burdens my heart. And I just wanted to know, like, what is
Yeah.
something that burdens Queen's heart?
So I'm glad you got to elaborate on yours, 'cause it got me thinking about the question. So with that, what burdens my heart is seeing, whether they're young or older, coming into the church setting and not being received well, or
Mm,
being judged, or
yeah,
or them having a facade up because they think they're going to be judged, and they're
right.
really coming to get, few, they're coming to give their life to God, to understand God. A lot of unchurched people, even on social media, follow me. That's why I'm very careful of not like browbeating someone, or beating them Jesus into them. Like, I feel like when you want to catch a fish, you got to catch it first before you clean it, right? So, with that being said, I feel like if we have a different way of embracing people when they come into church, um, things won't, they won't have that church hurt. The church hurt have so many layers and so many different, components to it. But in the grand scheme of things, that's what really burdens my heart, when people come in to get, fed and nurtured, but they're leaving out feeling more beat up. And I'm
Yeah.
talking about in the church, because I'm a church kid. I grew up in the church. My
Mhm.
daddy's a bishop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
he is.
I've seen a lot. That's not how we operate, but I noticed there's people within the church or within other churches who will do that, and then it's represent the church is represented to be that way because of that one or two persons, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, Queen and I, we grew up in the same church, right? Her
Mhm.
father is the pastor.
And
Shout out.
Bishop.
Let's just take a little shout out break right now
Yes.
to Bishop William
William
E.
E. Dickerson the
Dickerson. Okay,
second.
the second. Y'all get it right. The second, okay?
That's right.
Um, and we grew up, in church together. And as a matter of fact, it is the church with a heart for
People.
people, right? And that might not be your motto at every church as far as like, what you all say or what's written, right? But that should be the heart of all
Mhm, mhm,
people who
mhm.
operate in ministry. We should all have a heart for people. So I love that one because
Yes,
that's major. And I'm sure you just really ministered to some people out there that,
yes, yes.
can relate to what you just shared.
And the
Um,
other thing that it is
mhm,
now as all it was like a revamping and almost like a rebranding thing. So it's
yeah.
not a church with a heart for people anymore. It's
Ah,
not it's a church with a heart.
okay.
Yeah.
School me, girl.
Yep,
Got
yep,
you, got you. And
yeah,
that's important. So y'all got it. All
yes.
right. Let's go here really quickly. You are a woman of God, who operates in, ministry. So how does, who you are as a woman of God play a role in what you do as a hair care specialist?
Ooh, very good question. So it plays a major role. It plays a major role because this is the thing. I know I've been called to minister for a very long time, since a very young age.
Yeah.
And I've accepted that calling, then gave it back, accepted it, gave it back, because I thought it had to look a certain way. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not wearing them long skirts, them big hats. I'm not holding my ear and screaming. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I, I'm not doing that. So I thought it had to be that in order to be received. And
Yeah.
then I also looked at it as I don't necessarily want to speak to the same people every single week. I, I don't want that. So who am I to minister to, Lord? He said,
Right.
you've been preaching for a very long time, young lady. I was like, how? That chair, right? That's your pulpit. I
Yep.
said, oh shoot. That the chair is my pulpit. I said, hot dog.
Come
So
on.
I once I got the revelation, oh my God, I just turned it up. I just turned
Mhm.
it. I take my position so serious as being a beauty professional and a licensed cosmetologist, a hair doctor, a scalp specialist, all that, all those titles. I take it serious
Yeah.
because a person, they're in a very vulnerable state when they're sitting in your chair. Stand, they have someone standing behind them and they have to trust me. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's a lot, right? So
Mhm.
I don't take that lightly. I take it with a lot of honor and pride that someone trusts me that much, right? And
Yeah.
then I also take it a step further. So what I said earlier is that you look past people's faults and you see their need. So I ask God when I'm touching someone because there's power in a touch. One thing about as they call it, energy, but one thing about the spirit of God, it don't die, it transfers. Okay,
Come on.
so when I touch someone, I have to make sure my spirit is right. That's
Yeah.
why I don't answer my phone in the morning. People be calling me. I send it straight to a text or I send that, swipe it up like, can't talk right now. They know I saw it, so leave a message or something. I don't talk to people in the morning because I need my spirit right because I'm about to touch people. I'm
Yes.
serious
Yes.
about that. My
Mm.
mom, no, she stopped calling me in the morning because she know I don't answer the call. I'm gonna call you around 3 o'clock when I know I'm good. You ain't calling me about my little brother, what he did, his girlfriend. I don't hear none of that. Right. So I'm serious about my position. I'm serious about praying over my clients. There's people who even this young lady asked me a few weeks ago. She said, Queen, do you know how to pray? I said,
Mhm.
girl, do I know how to pray? Absolutely. What made you ask that? She said, because I need prayer.
Wow.
Said,
Yeah.
wow. And me
Mhm.
and her never spoke. She doesn't have social media. She found me on Stousey. So she doesn't know me. She didn't
Right.
know that I'm a woman of God, but something made her ask, do I know how to pray? Because she needed
Mm.
prayer. So now every time she comes, she came back. This is her second time she came back. she said, "Hey, did you pray over me today?" I said, "I absolutely did." This is when she was leaving out of the salon. And I love that because I'm a prayer warrior. You
Yeah. Yeah.
know, all
Mhm.
I know how to do is trust God. In the
Yeah.
midst of adversary, all I know how to do is trust God. You know, so and that goes back if I don't know if I'm can I talk about my story a little bit, what I experienced last year?
Well, we're about to get there,
Okay,
right?
okay,
Right.
because I was about to
This is
go there. But yes,
yeah,
did I
we're
answer the
about
question?
to listen. We about to go there. You
Okay,
absolutely answered the question, but we are about to
okay,
go there. So this is definitely a great time to get ready to transition. So you
okay.
all listen, hang tight because the woman of God, okay, the hair
Yeah,
care specialist
yeah,
extraordinaire, she's about to share with you all a little bit about her testimony,
okay.
her journey. But what I'm going to do right now is something a little different that I have not done before. Let me put my
Oh,
glasses on for this,
uh-oh.
okay? So we're gonna take a little shout out break to some
Okay.
special young men out there, okay, by the name of Tavaj and
Oh,
Tyree, okay? That's what we're doing right now. A huge shout out to Tavaj and Tyree, them King boys, okay?
yes.
Listen, I'm so very proud of them. They have the prayers over pity
Mhm.
hoodies, prayers over pity. Uh, don't pity me, pray for me. Did I say it
That's right. You
correctly?
said it correctly. Yes,
Okay, fantastic. And as a matter of fact, I tried to get a picture that would display a little bit bigger, but if you all could see up
yes.
in the corner there, that's the hoodie. Okay, listen, we're going to share a little bit more with you about that later. We'll provide a link and some information. To their website. Actually, I'm
Mhm.
going to share that with you right now because I believe I have it on deck. Okay, that's
Yes.
where you can go to
Yeah.
get you a hoodie and not just any hoodie. Okay, listen. I'm gonna go here. Stick around because Queen just might share with you all where the idea and concept
Absolutely.
came from in regards to this particular sweatshirt. And
Mhm.
so from here, what we are going to do is we are going to get ready to transition because I am excited to hear more from Queen tonight. But again, shout out to them King boys.
Yes.
So proud of you. Y'all are making it do what it do, baby,
I
baby.
love it.
All right. So here we go. We're entering our transition and we're going to hear from the woman of God. So, Queen, you are a wife, a mother, as well as
Mhm.
a business woman, right?
Mhm.
So, being a businesswoman and managing family, we know is not always easy. It's not always so easy, right? So, we would love to hear a bit about your story in hopes that it will inspire other parents, other, people who are, married,
Mhm.
business women. So, we're excited to hear from you. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hear from Queen King with hair care, motherhood, and vision, and all that good stuff. Listen,
Yes.
her journey, her testimony. The floor is all yours, Queen.
Awesome. So wow, my story it's very interesting. Just today, I had posted on Facebook. I said around this time last year, I was diagnosed with cancer. No, I wasn't even diagnosed with cancer. I had cancer in my body and didn't even know it. I'm going to repeat that. Around this time last year, I had cancer in my body and didn't even know it. So this in a few weeks from now, if this was last year, I was diagnosed with stage 1 endometrial cancer. And this happened because I was having a series of abnormal paps. It will go normal, then it'll go abnormal, but it stayed abnormal for a while. And it took 11 months, me going back and forth with different doctors, different clinics on getting this LEAP procedure. They said I needed to get a LEAP procedure, which removes a portion of the cervix to remove those high grade cells so it can be a healthy situation going on, right? And I only knew that was happening because I got regular paps. right? And I listened to the doctor, what she said I should do, right? So lo and behold, we had this leak procedure. And when we did the leak procedure, the doctor who performed it, she said she wanted to go up a little bit more because it looked a little weird. And so she biopsied my uterus. So she did the removal of the certain portion of the cervix, but biopsied the uterus. When she biopsied the uterus, a few days later, I got a phone call about having cancer. They didn't know a stage or anything at that time, but they said they found cancer. My whole life just was spinning. I didn't know what to do. I was scared, but I trusted God. I was angry, but I trusted God. So with that being said, I had the surgery performed, which means they removed my uterus. So I had a hysterectomy, a full hysterectomy, and that was just, you know, that was very hard at that time, right? But I was grateful that they were able to catch it. I realized that, there was it it was stage one, and one thing about cancers, right? There's a cancer called stage 1A, stage 1B. It was literally at stage 1A. So it was just formulating, right? And I'm just grateful that it didn't manifest to, be something detrimental. So throughout my recovery, that was in April of last year, having that surgery. So throughout my recovery, throughout the summer, here June hit, right? While I'm recovering, just trying to get well, just getting back to work, my son, my 8-year-old son at the time, he said, "Mommy, what is this under my arm? It keeps hurting." So it was like, I was like, I can tell that's a lymph node. Why is it swollen? So I kept putting warm compress on it, and it will go down, but then it will swell back up again and hurt. So I took him into the ER. They ran all kind of ultrasounds, tests, and X-rays, everything to try to find out what this issue was and why is it paining him. So they just told me to just keep an eye on it. If he keeps complaining about it, bring him back in. So I went on to vacation in July. And I said, "Babe, if it's still hurting you when we get back from vacation, I'm going to be adamant and make sure that they do some kind of testing, a biopsy or something to see why that's bothering you, why it keeps swelling up and going down every time I put, warm or cold compress on it." So, with that being said, it was still bothering him. So we went to a specialist. So they performed the biopsy. They scheduled for the biopsy, performed it. And days later, they called and said, "We need to really speak to you all. This is something very urgent." That's the voicemail I received. They kept calling. So I finally answered. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" So the doctor said that my 8-year-old son at the time had cancer. They have to figure out what kind it is, but it's definitely cancer. And I was so scared. I'm like, my baby, my, it was just bizarre, right? So with that being said, my son was diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. Oh my God. I didn't even know how to tell him. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't even know how to tell even my parents. I had someone else tell my parents because just think about it. I just had cancer, was able to remove a diseased organ, and I'm okay. I didn't have to go through treatment. I didn't have to go through radiation, chemo, none of that. I'm grateful. Now my son has cancer. He just turned 9. He turned 9 in September. The same month he was diagnosed is the same month he turned 9, and the same month, which is Hodgkin Lymphoma Awareness Month, right? It's just so crazy. Same month he just started school, the 3rd grade, all that. He immediately had a team. He started to get chemo. Um, then we went through a series of his hair fell out. He was completely bald. He would get sick and have days of throwing up, have days when it was just awful. But I maintained my composure because I know God was in control. And I said, "God, whatever you're doing in this season, I trust you. I don't know why this is happening, but I trust you." Like even with some people, when I started like open up a little bit about what I was going through, they would just cry like, Queen, I had no idea you was even going through something like that, because you're just, just acting and moving around as regular, as normal. And I'm like, yes, because first of all, I'm not the doom and gloom type of person. I don't do pity. Like, don't pity me, pray for me. Right. So, with all that being said, my son, he had such a level of strength that I just pulled from. Here it is, a 9-year old dealing with what he's dealing with and going through this. And, his hair is gone. And my kids have beautiful, thick hair that stand up on their head, like all these kids running around here, all this hair reaching up to the sun, right? And he's now bald, eyebrows gone, lashes are gone. Like, he's physically starting to change. That was hard, you know, but I pulled from his strength. I pulled from the strength that God has invested in me. I prayed for it every day. And then when people would ask me, so how are you doing? I didn't even know what to say. I don't know how I'm doing, but I trust God. That was my answer. I don't know how I'm doing, but I trust God. So lo and behold, here it is. It is April 2024. And my son, when he had his final scans, when he had his final chemo, they declared him being cancer free. There was no more cancer in his body. And then let me backtrack a little bit. What gave me a lot of hope too, we had to pay attention to what the doctors are saying. None of the doctors looked scared, looked frantic. They were just smiling. I'm like, why are these people so happy? Like, this is crazy, because they knew that he was going to be okay according to their science, right? So if I knew their science and my God together, oh, my baby gonna be all right. And then they also said, if anyone had to choose a cancer, it would be this one. So I said, okay, so that means it's very curable and he's gonna be all right. So we had to like listen and pay attention, and just really hone into what God was trying to show us and speak to us. Because one thing I believe also is that you don't go through things just to go through them, right? You go through them for a reason, for a lesson. Because if you don't get the lesson, or if you don't get what God is trying to show you or to tell you, I believe that you're going to have to repeat things, right? So I'm just grateful that here it is. Today is April 2nd, 2024. And yes, I had to have a moments of reflecting. And I'm just grateful for where I am, where my family is, where my business is, where, all these other things that are coming out of what we've gone through, where that's heading. So even in the midst of us having trials and tests and adversity, we were able to start a nonprofit organization because we saw that there was a need. There were so many people who needed resources, and I'm grateful that we were in a position not to lose it all. There's people who lose it all during a situation like this. You want to take care of your kid. You don't care. Listen, I didn't care about my work. I didn't care about paying bills, none of that. I wanted to make sure my son was going to live and be healthy. That's what I cared about. Right. So I'm just grateful for family, friends, and, even with, there's a couple of organizations that just gave us some resources and everything. It was extremely helpful. And with that happening, it prompted us like, yeah, we need to do something. We need to do you know, our civil duty to help people. Like, I'm always finding ways to help somebody. And I'm just grateful that we're able to have this. And we're even having our first fundraiser, which is April 28th at Shea Vu. Tyrese said he wanted to celebrate at Shea Vu and have everyone come out to celebrate with him being cancer free. And of course, me being a businesswoman, I'm like, we might as well make that a fundraiser also to help endow the organization to be able to, disperse emergency funds or resources to families who are in need, who are dealing with a child undergoing cancer treatments. So I'm just grateful from, just from the time of April from last year all the way to April this year. What a amazing, I can say now, what an amazing 12 months. But I am grateful. I am grateful for where God it's taken me and where God has taken my family, my husband. Listen, that's the most important thing too. You got to have a partner that is in your corner, that knows how to pray, that is in their rightful place. Because if they're not, it can mess everything up. It really can. It can really throw off everything. It can be detrimental to even your spiritual journey. And I'm just grateful that I didn't have to deal with that, you know. And yeah, I'm just grateful. So, Cookie, I hope I answered the question the way properly enough, but it's been a journey and I'm just grateful to God. Yeah.
My God, my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, uh, looking over in the chat, what a testimony. Congratulations on the, you mentioned the nonprofit, right?
Yes, yes. K and
Oh
K
my
Family Foundation, where
K
family comes first.
K&K Family Foundation, where
Mhm.
family comes first. That
That's
is
right.
absolutely amazing and beautiful. And listen, God is wonderful. God is awesome. Did you all hear the testimony? Did you hear the story? And guess what? She is sitting right here in front of us today to share the testimony, not just about her, but her baby
Yeah.
boy.
Mm,
Come on. Listen, God
yes,
is a healer.
he is.
Oh
He's a
my
healer.
Oh my
Mm,
goodness, amazing. So
yes,
I know that we're moving towards our time of wrapping up.
mhm,
Can you just share with a few people out there who are let's just say interested in getting in, the beauty business, maybe some tips that can help them. Maybe they can connect with you as a mentor
yes.
system. So just, you can take it from here, just share whatever's on your heart about that.
Oh, that's awesome. So I do a webinar very often, mostly on Sundays, and I invite beauty professionals in. For one, I always tell people if you're not willing to put in the work, I'm not the mentor for you. If
Mm,
you're not willing to have a mindset shift, I'm not the mentor for you. Because what I do is I help transform people's businesses by way of mindset first, right? And then by them understanding they have to acquire financial freedom and time freedom. See, one
mm.
thing about time, they don't print time, they print money, right?
Come on.
So time is more precious than money. So we know how to utilize our time, right?
Mhm.
We won't be time broke, meaning that we won't be in the salon 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, missing out on family time, missing out on things that's going to give us peace and rest, but
Yeah.
we're trying to chase a dollar. Like
Mm,
those days are in the past. That season
yeah,
is done,
that's
right?
right.
So it's no longer just trying to be booked and busy because a lot of people are booked and busy and they broke.
Oh,
That's an oxymoron. So
mm,
I teach you how to acquire financial freedom right there within your existing business,
yeah.
right? And then the beautiful thing about it, my course is not in person, it's online. So I
Mhm.
have people from all around the country that's in here, Queen Beauty Mentorship. We meet every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. and they look forward to this every time we meet, which serves me so much. It gives
Mhm.
me so much more purpose because every time we meet, they say they get something from our meeting.
Oh,
And
that's
and the fact that they show up, I don't have to be on the phone begging them like, "Hey, you're not online yet. Hey, where are you guys?" I don't have to do that. You know
that's
what? You know why? Because they're getting something.
yeah.
I'm not giving them fluff. I'm teaching them and I'm fueling them with the things that they need. One thing that most people need, what I realize,
Mhm.
most people just need confidence.
Listen, speak
They
on it.
they have the skill. See, one thing about these beauty professionals, I don't teach them how to do hair. I don't teach them how to do a ponytail more sleek. I don't teach them how to do all these different things when it comes to styling. I teach them how to brand their business. I teach
Mm,
them how to make more money, how to create time freedom and financial security right in this beauty industry, and
yeah.
not doing Uber Eats on the side, not having, working at Macy's on the weekends. You don't have to do that.
Right.
Mm-mm. That
Mhm.
not if I'm your mentor.
Come on.
So the beautiful thing is, I am a woman of God, right? But I am a businesswoman. So I
Yes.
also even created this book for barber and beauty professionals. It's called Fresh Start. And
Mhm.
it's a 30-day devotional for barber and beauty professionals, a daily guide for a positive way how to kickstart your day. So it has affirmations in here, it has prayers, even for my sons. They're entrepreneurs, even though they're young. They have prayers in this book. Oh, they pray over the entrepreneurs. It's such a beautiful thing. And I love this devotional, and so many other people, it has helped them in so many ways, is because sometimes as beauty professionals, they don't know how to start their day in a positive way. They just start,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the more you feed your spirit, right, the more you'll be able to exude positivity. So I'm just grateful that I'm in a position to be obedient to God, because it's not about me. It's not a me thing at all, right?
Right.
It's not a me thing. It's just all about my obedience, and I'm willing to do what it takes. And I believe that that's the reason why I have gone through certain things, is because we don't go through it just for ourselves. It's to be able to witness and pull somebody else up out of the miry clay.
Yeah, that
Right?
part right there. So you all get the devotional, okay?
Mhm.
It will be a blessing to your
Mhm.
life. Really quickly, can you tell us a little bit about Write the Vision, right? And
Yes.
the community that you have on Facebook.
Oh, thank you for that opportunity. So I love Write the Vision. I love the events. I love our community that we do have on Facebook. And if you are an entrepreneur or a budding entrepreneur, um, that is a great platform and a safe space for entrepreneurs to be a part of. For one, we give a lot of valuable resources. We give encouragement. We give inspiration every single day, and we give you information when it comes information and tips when it comes to grants and grant writing, and what funders you should go after, and how to properly set up your business. So it's a great community of other like mind people, and I say like mind, and be careful when you say like mind,
Oh
because I
yeah.
say like mine because I literally, because I have an elevated mindset, I want to be around people in that type of mind frame. But if you know you do not elevate high and you're trying to get there, you do not want to be around other like mind people. Does that make sense? You want to be around people who are really, high level thinkers, or
Mm,
people who are really, shaking and moving within the industry that they're involved in,
mhm.
because that's what's going to serve you. And like I always say, is like, I don't want to be the wealthiest or the smartest in the room. I do not. That don't serve me. It serves me to be in proximity to people who are making more than me, who have accomplished more, because I know, because proximity is power, right? But then also having a living, breathing example that this really can happen is
Right,
also powerful.
right, that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Share with us a little bit about your products. I have the link here for those who are interested. Hairqueenshop.com. Okay,
Yes.
share with us
Okay.
a little bit about your products.
Sure. So I will share about my products in 1 second, but I didn't answer the first part of Write the Vision. So Write the
Yes,
Vision, I talked about the community, but we have in-person events this year. I mean, well, for the past 2 years, this year is going to be virtual. But
ma'am.
Write the Vision was curated for entrepreneurs to be able to come together, get inspired, get motivated before the new year comes in. So it's
Yeah,
in November of every year, because, like I said, you have to sometimes slow down before you speed up. So you don't want to start your journey of figuring out what you want to do for that year in January, right?
yeah,
You want to start it in November of the year prior, so you
mhm.
can, when January comes in, you know what you need to do and just accelerate. So that's
Yeah.
what Write the Vision is all about. It's a goal setting brunch for entrepreneurs.
I love
So
it.
let's talk about the products.
Yes, ma'am.
So
And
yes,
before we do
yep,
though, listen, I've been to the Write the
yes,
Vision
you
event. Okay,
have.
let me tell you, it is wonderful. It is fabulous. I mean, even from an aesthetic visual standpoint, it's just a beautiful environment with beautiful people doing beautiful things. Okay, we can go
Yes.
on.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So the shop, the products, okay, here queenshop.com. I have my own product line and I'm so happy and proud of that accomplishment. It's something I wanted for so long, but I didn't know how to acquire it. I didn't know how to attain it. And then when I did, match up with this manufacturer, they will put it in ingredients that I wasn't fond of. See, I
Mm,
believe in natural, holistic sources being in ingredients
right.
in products, right?
Mhm,
So that didn't happen for me until I got a mentor. That's the
mhm,
power of mentorship.
mhm.
Once I got a mentor, that's when I got abreast of different, you know, chemists and different, manufacturers because me doing it on my own, it wasn't working. See,
Mm,
what one thing I had to understand is it doesn't matter how long I've been doing something. If I'm not connected to the right source, it's not going to manifest for me. I have to, be around the right people who are doing what I want to do.
right.
So when that happened, I was able to create total healing shampoo and conditioner, and that's what I feel like it does. Every time I use it on someone, it totally heals the hair from the inside out. Total healing shampoo and conditioner, and the website, if you want to check out my website, is hairqueenshop.com. That's just for products, but then we have everythingqueen.com, which is everything about me because there's so many different layers and so many facets, so many hats I wear. You can find out more information about me on everythingqueen.com.
Oh, I love it. Listen, she's making it do what it do out here, okay? Listen, connect with Queen, right? She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's not just doing it for a platform. She's not just doing it for the sake of doing it, right? She's really out here serving people,
Yeah.
okay? With great service, okay? Not just
Yeah.
any kind of service because that does matter, okay?
Yeah.
And we've had a wonderful time with you today.
Wonderful time. And I
Thank you
was
so
mentioning
much.
about the serving because listen,
Yep.
when I first started doing online mentorship,
Mhm.
I was taking advice from these gurus and all these people who they have courses, they making millions of dollars. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I can just teach and offer all the stuff I know. I'm gonna make all this money. Didn't work because I was not fixated on the money, but I was following the lead of what they were telling me versus what God was telling me. See, that's
Right.
the thing. We cannot overshadow God, no matter if it's in business, if it's personal. Everything we need to know, he knows already. So you got to
Mhm.
get it from the book, get it from him. So
Yes.
once I started getting more in my word, my mind started changing even more. I
Mhm.
don't have to do the things that see there's so many things and forms of godliness. Like I'm like, but they love the God, they love the Lord. They're saying God, they say Jesus. That's a form. That's
Yep.
a form. So I
Yep.
have to be very careful, and I had to learn this the past couple of years with me creating my table, right? Not sitting at
Mhm.
all these different tables, creating my table, right?
Yep.
And I said, you know what? I'm not going to charge 3K and 5K and all this for my program. Listen, my program, I do have a 5K program still, but that's one on one, and that is definitely worth it. But
Right.
however, my program is only $35 a month.
Come on.
And they told me, you don't do that. No, it need to be 997. Da, 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 da. And I was doing this stuff for a while and I didn't feel right doing it. And I said,
Mhm.
you know what? I have to not take your advice on this and I have to do what I feel like I need to do, what I feel
Right.
like God is telling me to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've had so much peace. I've been attracting the right people into
Right.
my program. And I thought, I'm going to attract the wrong people because of low price and all this. No, God knows what he's doing. So
Yeah.
when you stop being obedient and listen to the voice of God and not the voice of man, that's when things are going to start to make more sense and be even easier for yourself. I know
Listen,
that from experience.
listen. That's wisdom. That's
Yes.
wisdom, right? That's the benediction. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I don't know what else to tell you all. Is there any other thing that you would want to share with the viewers before we head up on out of here tonight?
Yes, I just really want to encourage you all, no matter what you are doing, where you are in life, just keep your focus. And I don't want you to feel like you're out of time, like you're not on schedule. You are exactly where you need to be in the time that you are. So God knows all things, okay? So you have to give yourself a little grace, and just be able to write down your goals, right? And then you'll feel more accomplished when you be able to put a check mark next to those things. All right. Because just having it up in your head is not good enough. Write down your goals. I don't care if they're big or small, write them down and start to check off those things. Even if you're saying, I want to pray at 7 a.m. Even if you want to go live and talk about the goodness of the Lord at 6 p.m., like start doing these things. Speak those things that are not as though they were. I tell the ladies in my mentorship program that I want them to do the I ams, right?
Mhm.
So we did the I ams, and my I am was I am enjoying being a hair school owner.
Yeah.
I'm not a hair school owner yet, but I'm enjoying it
Come
because I'm
on.
speaking those things that are not as though they were, right?
Yes.
So, we have to just remember to speak positive over our lives. Our words have power, and whatever you believe, you are exactly right. So if you believe that you are, fearfully and wonderfully made and that you are designed to do good things in this life, in this world, then that's what's going to happen. But if you believe negative, and that you're not good enough and you can't be the generational curse breaker, because you made some mistakes, then you're exactly right too. So why not think positive? It takes just as much energy, right? So that's all I want to leave you all with. And I'm just, grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, Sister Cookie, for having me on the platform. This is such a wonderful time and experience with you on tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. No, thank you so much. And I want to give a huge thank you to those that tuned in and those that will tune in on a later date or at a later date. And
Yep,
we love you, Queen. Okay. And we are inspired by you. We are encouraged by you. Listen, she is a brand as well. Okay. How about that? All right. So connect with Queen and listen, at this time in our segment, we are wrapped up. Okay.
I love it.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to, though? I don't want to forget that.
Sure. I want to give a shout out to my wonderful, supportive husband, Mr. Tashawn King. He's an amazing vocalist, amazing father, amazing husband and friend. That's my dude. That's my buddy. I want to give a shout out to the King boys, my beautiful sons, Tawaj and Tyree. I want to give a shout out to my clients, my parents, my church family, Greater Love Tabernacle, and everyone out there who supports me, whether in silence. Some people are very quiet, but they're rooting for me, but they
Yeah.
just don't do all the whole social media thing. And even those who are not, I love you too. We love everybody over here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And
Yeah,
you
thank
got a
you.
congratulations, Queen, from Miss Jody. That's a sister in Christ of mine.
Love you.
Thank
Thank you, Jody.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, Jody. We appreciate you being here. All right. Well, y'all, we had a wonderful time with
Ah,
Queen. Okay, let me go back here. Queen King, aka the Hair Queen. Holla.
holla.
Okay. I love it. I love it here, and I hope you all do too. So we are out of here. It is a wrap, right? Signing out, Cookie Gamble and Queen King, and we will see you all. God bless.